Hello and welcome. My name is Evgeny Rusakov and you're watching TVP World Interview from Vilnius. Starting from 2026, the standard value-added tax or VAT rate in Russia will increase from 20 to 22%. The Russian Ministry of Finance has effectively stated outright that the purpose of raising taxes is to wage war. The new tax increase is planned despite repeated promises by the Russian authorities that this would not happen. To discuss the current situation with the Russian economy, we are joined today by the economist Marius Dubnikovas. Marius, thank you for joining us today, sir. Glad to see you in our studio.
Thank you for your invitation.
Marius, well, first of all, let's briefly remind our viewers what is this value-added tax or VAT?
This is the major tax that majorly all over the world, all the countries are living from. We have lots of taxes in our countries. It differs from country to country, but VAT taxes almost probably everywhere. I cannot remember the country that it doesn't have. The VAT is a tax that is paid by end user of the goods. So when we go to the shop, we buy something, we are paying VAT. It depends on the product, it might be different, but still we are paying. The countries all over the world are majorly living from three taxes. So this VAT, then personal income tax, and excise tax, so that are put it on alcohol, tobacco, and gasoline. So, but VAT is the major income producer for the budget and for the country. It might be different numbers, but it's all over the world.
So this VAT increase in Russia, so Russian officials do not conceal the fact that this is done for military purposes. But what does this fact tell us about, and what impact will this step have on the Russian economy in general?
Well, the VAT in Russia is being increased by 2%. So this means that all the products and goods will increase their prices at least 2%. Sometimes the producers and sellers are increasing the price even higher by using the message that, well, the taxes are increasing, we have to increase the price, this is no other options, and they use this kind of situation. So this means that the inflation will increase in the country, and this means that for the buyers it will be a bit worse situation because they won't be capable to buy more goods. Another thing or the fact is that Russia had quite, I would say, a bit lower tax of 20%, because right now, if you would look at the Western countries, the VAT tax there is a bit higher standard. So they are increasing, I would say, to the standard levels 22, but they could use the lower levels before, because they were exporting oil and gas very easily, and right now they are having problems, especially with the gas, where they cannot sell it, and the oil is jeopardized. These sellings are always under pressure. We saw that the maximum level from the Western countries was set at the first start at 60 euros per barrel. Right now they are moving below 50. So this means the budget isn't getting enough money for going into war and supporting the war. So they decided to put a hand into citizens' pocket and take out some money from there.
Is this a good step for let's not just talk about Russia, but any other country, any other state, that increase?
Well, politicians are very afraid to increase VAT, because VAT targets directly the end users. This means a person, and every person which buys anything. So it touches the people that are buying food, beverages, houses, cars, etc. Everything. So the impact is very strong, and that's why politicians are trying to do some different models to increase other taxes rather than VAT, because it's very social, emotional thing. And but VAT is a very easily collectible tax, and it has a fast effect because from the first day when you implement the increase of the tax, this means the budget is getting extra money into
Straight
the
from
pocket.
the first day.
Straight from the first day when the person goes to the shop. In other cases, for example, personal income tax, so this means only next month it will be implemented. Then, for example, other taxes, value taxes are also, it takes time. So they are targeting the tax that is very efficient, that is easily collectible, and this means that they will get a fast relief in their needs of money. But of course, people will feel that, and probably will feel even at a bigger pace rather than 2%.
Okay, let's move on. So over the past 3 years, Russia has developed a two-speed economy when war-related sectors were growing and thriving, and other businesses that were not related to military industry, actually faced an artificial contraction of opportunities due to sanctions, tax increases, and limited access to capital. So how dangerous is this, first of all, how dangerous is this two-speed economy?
First of all, I wouldn't call it two-speed economy. It's one-speed economy. Okay. It's like a head with one part of the brain. The other one is missing.
Okay.
So, and you said correctly, even accessibility of the capital is limited because the capital is going to the war machine. So this means when you cut the possibility to get the capital, I would say, normal companies that were normal before the war, they do not have capital. So this means they are losing the competition for people, because people are also moving to the sectors where they can earn more, and this means the military sector can pay more. So this eliminates all the normal economy. And what is the worst case? That make a U-turn and move back to the normal economy from economy is very hard one.
Well, we'll come back to that.
Yeah,
sure. We will come back.
So this means you are destroying your future with a goal to go to war and make war, and this is like a no turn back situation. So it will be a very hard situation in the future for Russia.
You've talked about that hard future for Russia. So what consequences could this, one-speed economy with half brain, could this have if the war continues for at least several more years?
I hope that it won't last a few years. It will end faster, because we see that the Russian economy is going downstairs very fastly. We hoped that it will be even faster rather than the real world that we see today. But probably this was a wishful thinking when you are thinking about what you want and forecast what you want to get. But right now we see that the system is cracking, and the sanctions are really working. So what is the future for Russia? It depends. It depends when it will stop. Because if the longer it will go, the consequences will be worse and worse. So this means the business will go under bankruptcy, the people will be left without the money, those who still have them, and Russia will end with an industry that is not needed. Because after the war, and let's think that Russia will lose this war, there won't be a need for new weaponry and etc. Because there will be a time lapse where they will have to think only about how to build up the new economy that they have lost. And they have the things that are useless. They need electricity, or they need services and restaurants. So they are losing their future. They are selling their future for the past decisions. So the past decisions were wrong, and they are still not admitting that.
Another interesting fact that I would like to mention in the context of our conversation is Russia is once again facing a demographic crisis, and just as it did in 1990s. So how bad is this demographic crisis economic-wise?
Well, this is a question for all of the countries in developed markets, I would say. But in Russia, it's totally different because the cause of this demographical problem, well, they are destroying their young people's future, especially men, young, and they do not get the normal rate of birth. And on top of that, they have war. So this is very serious because this means that after the war, they will have less people, one thing. Another thing, they will have more people with different injuries, disabilities, and that kind of stuff. So these people won't work, won't create additional value. And on top of that, the government will have to take care of it, or at least at minimum care. It won't be very high care because they won't have money for that. But still, they are not creating value, they are destroying this value. And this means that this country won't be capable to work as it was used to some 10, 20 or 30 years ago.
But what's your take? When does the country start to feel all the consequences of those demographic crises?
Well,
is it like right now? Probably yes. Or maybe the worst situation will be in 10, 20 years.
I think that right now they are feeling the demographical problems. We see some news or information that they are having a problem with the working force. Sometimes they are even importing the Chinese people to work in their fields and their forests, etc. So they are opening for other countries, but this opening is not from goodwill, but it is because they cannot act in another way. And the problems will be amounting, because this means if you are losing young people or mid-aged people, so this means your country is getting older and older. So then the other problems are occurring. The pensioners have to get pensions, where we will get pensions when you do not have youngsters that are working there. Or you still have some young or mid-aged people, but they do not have where to work because you were thinking one part of the brain. You have to just one part of the brain, not two. And you are building tanks and weaponry. So in the future it will be worse. But right now they are feeling this. I'm sure that there are lots of alarms that is going upstairs and saying, come on guys, what we are going to do in the next year and next year and next year, because there are people that see the data and can understand what this data says.
What if Kremlin decides to come back to peaceful economy? How easy would that be? And is it even possible?
Well, it is possible. The history shows us, because we had lots of wars before, and we saw that the countries are getting back, especially when they get some support from others. But in this case, it might be not the case. They will definitely get back in some time. But there's the question of time and how many generations will be lost after this battle. Because the risk was too high that they took. And right now, the U-turn is possible. It's every second it is possible to stop these war crimes and etc. But they probably won't do that on their own mind. Because
unfortunately,
because if you make a U-turn, so this means that you will get all the worst consequences right here, right now. So they might be even worse than they have the situation right now.
Okay, Marius, thank you for joining us today, and I really hope to see you once again in our studio.
Thank you.
And I would like to remind our viewers that our guest for today was an economist, Marius Dubnikovas. You're watching TVP World. Stay with us.